Hello, I hope you're doing well today. So, there's a bunch of different types of diets out there that people try to use to kind of help them with weight loss or their health and wellness journey. So, one of those that I want to talk to you about today is the keto diet. So, the keto diet's a little bit different in that it focuses on fat. Specifically, it focuses on the consumption of fat. So, a lot of diets are kind of low carb or high protein or calorie restricted. And the ketogenic diet really is focused on the amount of fat you're eating or having a diet high in fat. So, originally the keto diet was used to reduce frequency of seizures in kids, but it was found to be effective in weight loss. So it's one of those diets now that a lot of people are looking into and trying to see if it's right for them. And, whatever method you use to control your weight, a lot of the different diets work if you can just apply them and stay on them. And that's the challenge, is the sustainability. That'll be one of the challenges of the keto diet. We'll talk more about that. But, it has been shown to help in weight loss, and actually it also can help with your cognition. So, each month there's millions of searches on Google about the keto diet, how to do it, what's the success rate. So really, let's talk about how the keto diet works. So normally your body uses glucose or carbohydrates broken down into glucose as fuel. And this is really serves for your energy needs on your daily activities. But when you're on a keto diet, the objective is to force your body into using a different type of fuel. Those are called ketone bodies. Well, your liver produces these ketone bodies by burning fat. So burning fat sounds like the perfect way to lose weight, because really that's your primary goal in trying to lose weight. But there's a couple of things you need to consider though. So getting your liver to start producing ketone bodies is not as simple as it sounds. So there's a couple of reasons. Well, first you have to deprive your body of carbohydrates. And this really means consuming less than 50 grams of carbohydrate daily. And it's important to remember a medium-sized banana has 27 grams of carbs. So carb restriction is going to be real important, but also a real challenge through the carbs from your diet. And you also need a few days or longer to really get into that ketosis. And then if you end up consuming excessive protein, it can actually interfere with ketosis. So in a keto diet, typically fat's going to supply up to 90% of your daily caloric requirements. So the standard keto diet typically is around 70% fat, 20% protein, and 10% carbs. Now there's other variations of this, but this is kind of a general principle. Now, given the amount of fat in a ketogenic diet, it's something you really need to make sure there's other things that shouldn't be going on or other health concerns you have. So it's kind of one of those diets that can be good for certain people, and there's other people that shouldn't be on it. So I kind of want to go over that. So who are the people that may benefit the most from a ketogenic diet? Well, the first group is type 2 diabetic patients. So the keto diet is shown to improve your blood sugars and weight control in type 2 diabetics. In fact, a study recorded diabetes reversal in up to 60% of the participants. And in this study, the participants also lost an average of 30 pounds. So it significantly reduced their daily insulin requirements. And in fact, some of the participants no longer needed to take oral hypoglycemic agents. Furthermore, the study found that keto diet was easier to sustain than other diets that focused on caloric restriction or protein sparing. So type 2 diabetics may benefit from trying the ketogenic diet. Another group of patients or people that may benefit is those that are morbidly obese. So a body mass index above 40 has been really associated with numerous health issues, from heart disease, diabetes, certain cancers. And the ketogenic diet can help these people really lose a significant amount of weight, which will help improve their overall health status. It helps improve your insulin sensitivity if you have insulin resistance without type 2 diabetes. Another unique thing about the keto diet in these cases is that it can serve as a short-term kind of reset for your metabolism, so you don't have to be on it forever. But remember, once you come off of it, you need to really stick to a healthy diet after this reset to really reap the maximum benefits. Another group of people that benefit from ketogenic diet is those that suffer from epilepsy. So the ketogenic diet has helped control epilepsy symptoms for many, many years. In fact, it's been around since the 1920s. And there was further support in a review in 2019. And really, the Epilepsy Foundation suggests that the ketogenic diet can really help reduce epileptic seizures, especially in those people that other treatments have failed. It's also been found to be effective in children with focal seizures. In addition, other neurological conditions such as, Alzheimer's, autism, some types of brain cancer may actually benefit from a ketogenic diet. People suffering from bipolar disorder may benefit from a ketogenic diet. The ketogenic diet does serve as a good kind of mood stabilizer. And in fact, one study found that this diet may actually be more effective than the medications these people often take. So this is kind of the rough group of people that may want to consider a ketogenic diet. Now, on the flip side, who shouldn't be on a ketogenic diet? Because there are health risks associated with this diet. So a group of people that should not be on the ketogenic diet are type 1 diabetics. And this is really because, these people take insulin daily to control their blood sugar, and going on a ketogenic diet can actually cause their blood sugar to become lower or dangerous levels. And so they should really avoid a ketogenic diet. People taking what's called the sodium glucose cotransport 2 inhibitors, these are often medications in diabetics. They should really avoid these too, because if you're on a ketogenic diet, it can actually force you into increasing your risk of a diabetic ketoacidosis, which can really be a life-threatening thing. Next group of people is those with heart disease. So as we talked about, the ketogenic diet has a high fat content. So if you're eating a high amount of saturated fats, this can worsen existing heart disease or even increase your risk if you don't already have it. This is because these saturated fats will increase your low-density lipoproteins, kind of the bad cholesterol. So these have been linked to heart disease. Another group of people that should avoid the ketogenic diet is people with liver problems, because your liver metabolizes the fat in your meals, and therefore, if you go on the ketogenic diet, you're really just basically giving your liver extra fat to process, and this is going to put it under additional strain, which can worsen any existing liver disease. Also, if you have kidney problems, you should really avoid the ketogenic diet, because your kidneys will metabolize protein in your diet, and the ketogenic diet also contains a high amount of protein, which may overload the kidneys and really worsen any underlying kidney disease. Another illness that you should avoid a ketogenic diet again is anything to deal with your thyroid disease. So the keto diet may reduce your thyroid hormones, and so this can interfere with the effects of medication usage and really the management of your thyroid disease. So it's recommended that you really don't put yourself on a keto diet if you have thyroid disease. Those suffering from multiple sclerosis should also avoid the ketogenic diet. In fact, the National Multiple Sclerosis Society strongly warns about possible side effects, including fatigue and constipation, if you try to undertake the ketogenic diet, and really it can worsen your symptoms. Next group of people are pregnant or breastfeeding women. This is another group that should not go on the keto diet. And this is really because, when you're on the keto diet, you're teaching your body to use different energy source, and that's the ketones, and the ketones don't work well in the babies, and this can really be very harmful for the babies. There really hasn't been any, controlled studies done on pregnant women, but they did find in pregnant mice that were placed on a keto diet that had their offspring had many developmental issues. So pregnant and breastfeeding probably should avoid. Another group of people is people that suffer from an eating disorder. Because really, if you have a history of an eating disorder, going on a strict diet that eliminates some food groups can really trigger a relapse. So it's really important that if you have an eating disorder, really consider not being on the ketogenic diet. Often people, maybe they're being treated for binge eating disorder, and they want to use the keto diet for this. but it's really advised not to do this because with a binge eating disorder, you really requires regular and adequate food intake without restrictions. So, if you have an eating disorder, I would really, second guess if you should really be on a ketogenic diet. Another group of people who would really want to consider avoiding the ketogenic diet is people with that have had their gallbladder removed, because your gallbladder really stores bile, which is the substance that aids in fat digestion. So if you're on a ketogenic diet without your gallbladder, your fat metabolism will be poor, and this can really cause you some uncomfortable side effects. While it may not be life-threatening, it can cause a lot of discomfort. Well, how safe is the keto diet? Well, there's not really enough long-term data to support the efficacy and safety of the diet over decades. However, if you're overweight or insulin resistant, the keto diet can help you become healthier. It achieves this really by getting your system out of this metabolic crisis. And the important thing to understand is the ketogenic diet is probably a diet you would use temporarily to get kind of the things moving in the right direction, and then once you kind of get where you need to be, you then switch to what we would say is basically a more healthy, sustainable diet where you really are eating rich whole foods that are nutritious foods. So there are a group of people out there that the ketogenic diet does work for, and then there's also a group of people out there that really should avoid the ketogenic diet. But the important thing to remember is, if you're considering the ketogenic diet, this is going to really require a total overhaul of the way you usually eat because of the high fat content and the restriction of carbohydrates. And then again, remember, it can take days to get yourself into the ketosis, and it really only takes one slip to get yourself right back out of it. So if you eat, a piece of candy or something with a lot of carbs in it, you'll quickly get yourself out of that ketosis. Now, again, there are health conditions that it has been proven to help with, but there's also health conditions that really can become worsened with the diet. So it's really important that you understand what kind of medical conditions you have, and really are you the right kind of person for this. And then, in summary, also on any diet, it's important that you're really eating whole foods. Try to avoid the heavily processed foods. So in the ketogenic diet, you're going to want to eat more of the whole foods, and then the carbs you're going to eat will come from plants, things like that, and really avoid, the sugary drinks and sugary, desserts and things like that, because the carbs are not the same. So this is just a little highlight of the ketogenic diet. There's many other things you can do to really help you on your health and weight and wellness journey. But we wanted to touch base with this. Follow us for more. We'll talk about other diets in the future. But again, today, this ketogenic diet does seem to work for some people. Just remember, it's probably a temporary thing that gets you where you want to be, and then you switch to a more traditional healthy diet to maintain. But if you have any questions or concerns or comments, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll catch you next time. Thank you.